Hello, everyone. Please stand by very quickly. I'm going to be starting in just a couple of minutes. Please go ahead and stand by while I prepare the live stream. Thank you very much. Everybody, I will be starting very shortly. Please go ahead and wait very briefly. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another video of On Point Politics. Make sure to hit the like button and to subscribe if you want more content just like this. So, everybody, we all know what happened today. The CEO of Turning Point USA, the founder of Turning Point Action, Charlie Kirk, at 31 years old, was assassinated in broad daylight at a university in Utah. And this actually really caught me by surprise, guys. It was this was very shocking to me when I found out. I found out through a close friend of mine. I was on my way to school, and they called me and they said, "Oh, something happened to Charlie." And I was like, very confused. And then I saw the video, and I wish I had not seen that. I am very, very disturbed, very shaken by what's taken place today. Very unexpected set of events today that occurred. And, Charlie was your old fashioned believer in democracy and free speech and fair debate. There are a lot of conservatives that were very over the whole, reasonable debate. We need to get rid of the left. We need to do this. But Charlie still believed that you could sit down and have a conversation with people and debate fairly and be allowed to voice your opinions without facing any sort of physical harm to yourself, any persecution. A lot of people, still believe in that today. I still believe that today. I still believe that you, as an American, you can go out there and have respectful debates. But unfortunately, despite Charlie being very humble, despite him still going out there as successful as he is for the past 12 years, as successful as he is, you know, this was absolutely horrifying to see happen. This was absolutely horrifying. This is a tragedy. This is the biggest political assassination there has been since JFK Jr. or one of the Kennedys. This is more than likely going to be the biggest political assassination in the 21st century, besides the potential assassination that could have happened to Donald Trump. And unfortunately, it was very, very disturbing what happened. I'm not going to get into too many details on the stream here, but based on the video, it was very unlikely that he was going to be able to make it. Very, 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 it was very likely he wasn't going to make it, and really just very disturbing that his family was there. Luckily he still had his family beside him, once he passed. But it is very sad for his children, for his wife, that, I prayed for, and everybody should pray for, that, everybody, it's just terrible. It's just terrible. Nobody, despite any of their beliefs, should really have to, any of their political beliefs, especially that he was very respectful. Nobody should have to go through something like this. Nobody should have to see somebody like that, somebody in their family, somebody be hurt like that, and this is going to radicalize a lot of people. We don't know what's going to happen with Turning Point. I expect it to grow quite substantially after this. And I do believe that this will probably help the Republicans in the upcoming midterms. I really do. And this is just because I'm saying this, just as the political analyst that I am in this channel, that's really what we cover here on the channel. They've made a martyr out of him, out of Charlie, of what happened to him today. Again, a lot of people didn't agree with him. There's even a lot of conservatives that didn't 100% agree with him all the way. There are conservatives that didn't agree with him. They thought some of his views on Middle Eastern politics and Israel might have been a little bit too much. But at the end of the day, this is really going to really unite the right, and it's going to really have a lot of disaffected independents really carry over to the Republican Party, in my opinion. And this is just very, very devastating, very tragic for Turning Point, for Charlie's family, for Charlie himself. And I got to meet Charlie, actually. In the beginning of the stream, I had a little thumbnail pop up where I pretty much took a photo with him about 2 years ago. And it's very interesting because he knew about me as On Point Politics, right? Like, he followed me on X. He's actually even mentioned me on the show before, some polling we did with SoCal. He's mentioned it, Trump and Biden polling we did last year. He mentioned it on the show, and I got to speak to him on his show once when he was live, and I met him in person. And to this day, I'll really never know if he knew the person he met 2 years ago when I was just Lester and not On Point Politics. I'll really never get to know if he really knew that that was the same person that he met 2 years ago and On Point Politics was the same person. I really don't think he really ever knew. But I still had the great opportunity, and I hope I still will have the great opportunity to, be able to attend Turning Point events as a special guest. I was always grateful for that opportunity. A lot of people in Charlie's orbit, I can list a bunch right now. A lot of people from Turning Point Action, Cliff Malone, Maloney, Scott Presler, a lot of people were very welcoming to me. I've met a lot of them, very respectful, very welcoming to me as a new content creator, and I'm sure that they're very devastated by this. Charlie himself, I believe, was an amazing person. From what I know, he was a great father, a great husband, a great political commentator. He was very revered by his friends, had a really good group of people around him. That's why I mentioned Scott, and that's why I mentioned Cliff Maloney, and a lot of people that I know that were close to him. He had a lot of patriots by his side, and I really, this has really radicalized me in general. This is very, very, very crazy stuff. I would have never expected coming out of work today that this was the news that I was going to get, that a political commentator who believed in having debates, proper debates, where people can have a respectful and honest dialogue. I cannot believe that today I am finding out that that individual who had such a strong faith for God, such a respect for America, such a respect for honest, open debate, could just be assassinated in broad daylight like this. Like, I can't believe that this is who they did this to. It is absolutely appalling to me that this is what America has come to. And I'm just gonna say this. I'm just gonna say this very quickly, guys. It doesn't matter who it is, okay? It does not matter whether it was Donald Trump. It doesn't matter whether it's Kamala Harris. It doesn't matter whether it's J.D. Vance, Bernie Sanders, Zohran Mamdani, Charlie Kirk. It doesn't matter who it is. Political violence is never the answer in this country. Is never the answer in this country, ever. I've never advocated for that. And this is not what this country is about. This country is about a founding document from the founding fathers who created the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. And the whole purpose of that document was to serve for a government that could serve its people, that the people are, in fact, the rulers of the government. They are the ones. The government is supposed to work for us, not the other way around. And I think, unfortunately, this country, including a lot of its politics and its government, has forgotten that the government is supposed to work for the people, not the other way around. People should not have to be scared to go out there and have debates and get assassinated in broad daylight. Like, this should not happen. I'm going to just say this very quickly. After today's events, have realized how lucky I am. As a lot of people in here know, I ran for student government president at the University of Central Florida as a Republican candidate. And I only mean to bring this up because I received a lot of death threats during that election cycle that I had to report to the police, because you never know. You have to take those seriously. You have to take everything like that seriously, because look what happened today to Charlie. And I didn't have any security. Somebody on campus could have came up to me and done something to me, and I wouldn't have seen it coming. Like, I don't know. And to this day, today I realize how lucky I am. How lucky I am to be alive, that nothing happened to me, and I'm only bringing this up because of, look what happened to Charlie. Nobody thought that would happen to Charlie. Nobody today would have thought that would have happened to him, and it did. And so if it could have happened to him, it could happen to anybody. And it's like, and again, yes, somebody just said this. Mike Nintendo Master said, you never know when your last day is. It's very true. You never know when your last day is on this earth. You never know. I after today really have had I've always appreciated life and things like that, but I've really had a change of heart today, because it really can all change in an instant. It can all change like this in a millisecond. It could change. He went from having a spiritual debate with college kids, with his family there, like built this massive organization with hundreds and thousands of donors across the country, and having his best life, and it's all gone, and it was all taken away from him in an instant. It was taken away from him in an instant. It was taken away. And I'll be honest with you guys, I was very upset after I saw the video. Very upset. I was pretty much traumatized after seeing the video, because it's just, Charlie was never disrespectful to nobody. Charlie was never like an instigator like that. Like, yes, of course he had his fun, he had this, but he never did anything to anybody. He never has, like, he was always very respectful, always a great family man. Like, this is not okay. This is not okay. And I've had enough. I've had enough that you can, it's very sad to me that even today we can't have debates in this country without somebody getting hurt. And unfortunately, Charlie was the one who met that fate today. And it's very, very sad. It's actually, and now, unfortunately, for, and you know what's interesting? I find it very, like, very, very, very concerning, okay, that it's just like people are celebrating this on TikTok. People are celebrating this on Instagram. Like, people were literally saying, like, oh, like things that are like so ridiculous. People were actually celebrating him getting murdered. MSNBC said that the shot could have been a supporter firing a gun in celebration. Celebration of what? Because there was no celebration. Clearly not. They were having a debate. And again, I haven't looked at a lot of the coverage on the mainstream media, but to be completely honest with you, from what I saw briefly, no, like, you can look it up. There is a clip. I see somebody said you have to be joking. There is a clip online of MSNBC. A political commentator said that word for word. They said that a gun could have been fired off because one of his supporters was celebrating, that they fired a weapon in celebration. That's what somebody said on MSNBC, and it wasn't an opinion panel. It was like right after the breaking news came up. Okay? And people have been celebrating this on TikTok and Instagram, and it is absolutely appalling that somebody could even celebrate this. And I have to say that, like, it's just, it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter. If this were Bernie Sanders, I would be just as upset. If this was Kamala Harris, even, despite my many disagreements with her, I would be just as upset. I would be just as upset, because Kamala Harris doesn't deserve that either. Bernie Sanders doesn't deserve that. Zohar Mamdani doesn't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. But unfortunately, you have had a lot of rhetoric really spike up over the years where the mainstream media or liberal commentators will say things like Republicans are Nazis, this and that. And this is why stuff like this happens. This is why stuff like this happens. And I don't mean to use this as an excuse to go after the left, but it's not the Democrat Party that I'm going after. It's not the people I'm going after. It's well, there's certain people, but there are a specific group of people who have peddled rhetoric that has allowed stuff like this to even happen. And it's like, it's very, very, very cowardly to even do that to somebody. And you know, I have to say this. I am at least happy that Charlie passed away doing the thing that he loved the most. Like, imagine about it. He died a warrior's death. He was metaphorically at the battlefield. He died in battle. He died in combat. He died serving out his mission of Turning Point. And that makes me feel a little bit better about it. But it's still, nobody deserves an end like this. Nobody does. No one does. And I just have to reiterate once again, like, I really, this has really disturbed me today. This has really just, this is really struck me very badly today. And crazy enough, there was a post on X that has been circulating. Now, apparently the person that they originally arrested was not the shooter. And now they have been sharing messages on X. Everybody's been posting this account that had said, "Oh, Charlie is coming to my school today. I really hope somebody evaporates him." And then their comment below that a couple hours later says, "Guess what, guys? Something crazy is going to happen tomorrow." And people just found that a couple hours ago. And I believe that that person's already been identified. I know that Myron Gaines, the streamer from Fresh and Fit, the host of Fresh and Fit, he actually identified the individual, and he actually attends the university. I'm going to actually pull that up on the screen so people can actually see that. Something big is going to happen today. I'm going to actually pull up the screenshot so people can actually see what I'm talking about, because this actually was circulating around the internet. Let's go ahead and look this up. Okay, here we go. So this is the tweet. So this is breaking. Someone posted yesterday on X that something big would happen today when Charlie Kirk arrived at Utah Valley. Charlie Kirk is coming to my college. Just say something big will happen tomorrow. And this is the screenshot that has been floating around social media. This has been confirmed to be legit because the person's account was deleted. They've deleted their account. But the person who posted this was actually identified by Myron and a couple other people. And this is what it says. It is somebody who basically said that something big is going to happen tomorrow when Charlie goes to university. And I really hope that this person is thoroughly investigated. I hope that if they are guilty, they are persecuted at the highest extent of the federal law. And it's very concerning. It's very concerning that this was up on X and like nobody at Turning Point picked this up. Like, I am very concerned that no one saw this. Nobody at Turning Point saw this. Nobody. I'm very surprised that they did not see this. I'm very, very surprised. Yeah, and he has locked his account in the last hour. He's also changed his Twitter account. Yeah, it's very, very disturbing, guys. It's very, very disturbing, the events that have taken place today. And, I just have to say, I, will obviously be very careful. I will not be attending events alone. If I go to events, I will not be attending them alone. And I will definitely be a lot more careful about, what I put out there, about about my own safety, because I do want to continue in politics. And this has actually motivated me to get even more involved. Right. So I just would like to say that I'm still going to be continuing the fight on here. The whole point that the whole mission, okay, the whole mission of Turning Point was to educate the youth in spiritful debate about conservatism. That was the mission of Turning Point. And my mission here at On Point Politics is to be the number one stop for political election analysis that is not bought out by any mainstream media source, and that is the number one stop for election analysis. That is the point of this channel. And the events from today has motivated me to carry on the fight even more than I already was yesterday or the day before. And so, yeah, guys, I'm not going to try to drag this out too long. I've already been live for about 20 minutes. If anybody, I'll read chat for a little bit before I do go. I hope everyone's doing as well as they can be. We must pray for Charlie and his family, for his friends, his loved ones. I've talked to a bunch of people today, a bunch of people who aren't even involved in politics. They called me today asking me what was going on. People ask me how I'm doing, and I told them that I'm doing as best as I can, because it does suck. I did meet him. Turning Point has given me good opportunities to meet so many people. So I am very sad about this. I really am. I am very sad. I am very sad about this. I really, really am. It's very, very upsetting to me. But, all right, guys, please go ahead and, I'm going to see this. Will the launch gala be canceled? What are you talking about? Are you talking about a Patriots Pathway? As far as I'm aware, I believe that it will not be canceled. Right-wing politics says, I can't even imagine what Charlie's family is going through right now. What they're feeling. We need to pray for them to have peace. 1,000%. He was just 31 years old. Yeah, man, he was young. He was like 10 years older than me. I'm going to be 21 in November. He was not even that much older than I am. And that upsets me even more. He was a young guy with very young children, 1 and 3 years old. It's very, very sad. I was walking to a bus from my class, and all I heard was people talking about it. Yeah. Yep. All right. We're gonna put Limped Arc in a timeout. We're actually banning him from the chat, so he is removed. He was talking smack about Charlie, and regardless or not of different things, not even expressing difference of political opinion, he just said something very nasty about Charlie, and we just banned him from the chat. So he will no longer be able to chat on the On Point Politics chat. But yeah, guys, yeah. Happy early birthday, On Point. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Flynn the Robloxian, you are also getting banned as well, because we are not going to be pushing the assassination of anybody else. Just because Charlie was assassinated doesn't mean anybody else has to suffer either. And so because you even asked me, you had the audacity to ask me if we were going to do something to somebody else, you are now removed as well from the chat. But all right, guys, if anybody has their last thoughts, any last comments, please go ahead and leave them down below. If you guys have any last thoughts, I'm done giving the rest of my thoughts today. And I really, really hope that everybody takes this the right way. I really hope that everybody unites. I hope this unites the country. I don't even care if it reunites the Republican Party. I want this to unite the entire country is what I want it to do. And so thank you very much for tuning into the stream. We will, I really appreciate that everybody, I really hope that everybody, took this the right way. I really hope everybody appreciated the stream. Any last thoughts, leave them down below. Make sure to hit the like button and to subscribe for more content just like this. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much.